Hello guys! For today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply face paint in Photoshop. And also, we will dive deeper into creating a desaturated file, applying Gaussian blur, applying displacement, inserting a paint layer on our subject's face, adjusting blending options, and using brush tool for removing excess paint. So let's get started! So I got here an image of this woman, and our goal here is we're going to apply this paint on her face. So the first step we're going to do here is we're going to create a duplicate layer of the background layer. So to do that, just you can right click on the background layer, select duplicate layer, and let's set this one to desaturated. And after that, selected on the desaturated layer, I'm going to the image in the menu bar, go to adjustments, and then choose desaturate. And the image will turn to black and white. And after that, we're going to apply a Gaussian blur on this. So still selected in that layer, go to filter in the menu bar, and then choose blur. And then under that, select Gaussian blur. And then for the radius, I suggest you to just put it into around 3.0 pixels. That's fine. And then select OK or enter. And then once we're done with this, we're going to save this file. Actually, this one is created for the displacement in our image. Now, we're going to save this file by going to the menu bar, select file, and select on save as. Let's give this image a name, Desaturated, and then save. Okay. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my video to other nerds like us. Going back, once we're done saving this desaturated file, now we're going to delete this layer. Alright, so once we're done, we're going now to insert the paint image here. So to do that, so I'm going to this file here, and then select on move tool, click and drag on that file over here, and there you go. Alright, now I'm going to adjust the opacity here, and then I'm going to resize this paint layer fit for her face. So to do that, clicking on that layer, I'm going to press Ctrl plus T for the transformation until the transformation command appear, and then I may now adjust fit for her face. Alright, well this one is good for me. After that, I'm going to press enter. While this paint layer is already on her face, now I'm going to go on filter, choose distort, and select displace. And then for the displace, for the horizontal scale, I prefer you to change that to 8, and also for the vertical scale to 8, and then select OK. And now these will pop up, and I'm going to choose the desaturated file that we just saved a while ago. Click on it, and then open. Alright, now we're done with it. Actually, Photoshop tried to displace the paint on her face. Then after this, I'm going to double click on this paint layer. Okay, so for us not to be confused, I'm going to rename this one as paint. Okay, and there you go. Double click on this, and then this layer style dialog box will pop up. And for the blending options, we may now adjust the opacity back to 100. But here from the underlying layer, I'm going to adjust the shadows and the highlights. So for the other half of this, from the shadows, I'm going to press Alt and move the other half of it into the lighter areas. Okay, and look at the face. It's trying to appear. And also this side, I'm going to you can just play around with this. So you can choose your desired amount of adjustment. And also from the highlights, I'm going to hold Alt and bring the half of it over here. Okay, in my case, this one is fine. And I'm going to adjust this just a few. Okay, and then once said and done, now you can now press OK. And there you go. And the next step we're going to do here is we're going to create a negative mask on the paint layer. So to do that, you just have to press Alt and then select Add a Mask. And now you can see that this one is black. That means it's a negative layer. So I repeat, to do that, you just have to press Alt and then Add a Mask. Okay? Alright, the next step we're going to do here is we're going to create a duplicate layer of our background once again. So let's click on this layer, right click on it, and then choose duplicate layer. Let's rename this one as face selection. And then, okay. Now I'm going to bring this face selection on top of the paint layer. Now I'm going to create a selection on her face using a quick selection tool. So selected on that face selection, let's go to the toolbar. Let's go to the fourth tool. This one is the quick selection, but if you can't find that, you can just right click on the fourth tool and then select on the second one. It says here quick selection tool. For the shortcut key, you can just press W. And now let's click and drag to create a selection on her face. And I'm going to deselect some areas because I only want to make a selection on the face for us to apply the paint later on. And after that, click on the added mask layer from the paint layer that we just created a while ago. Click on it. I'm going to press Ctrl plus I to invert. Now there you go. And then after that, I am going to hide the face selection. And you can see that we already applied the paint on her face. But there are some excess here, like you can see the eyes is already painted. So we're going to remove those detailed parts. So to do that, I'm going to click on the negative layer mask from the paint layer. Click on it. Choose brush tool or B for the shortcut key. I'm going to zoom this one in. And then going back there, selecting on B for the brush tool. Make sure that the foreground color is black. And now we may now remove those excess. First from the lips. Next is to her eyes. And there you go. Now I'm going to zoom this one out. Fit screen. Remove the selection by controlling Ctrl plus D. And there you go. Now I'm going to show you the before and after. So this was the before. And this is the after. And that is how to apply face paint in Photoshop.